Good evening, community. How are you? I am back again. Come join me. I'm Jenenne Macklin. I am your transformational speaker, wealth guide, and catalyst. I'm that chick that loves to hashtag disrupt the conversation going on in your head about money, about wealth. So welcome. I'm so excited that you're here, that you'll be joining me, and some of you will come on later and listen to this. I have been sharing that, probably more so in my emails, maybe here, that I really am looking at disrupting the conversation about money so that each of us can become more aware of the power we do have to change our relationship with money. Now, you may not even think about it as a relationship, but ultimately we're having a relationship with everything that's here, whether it's an inanimate object or not. So we do have a relationship as it relates with money. And I have different conversations that go on in my head that I usually don't talk about or say anything about, but these calls and these lives have been generated by spirit. Sometimes, you get those nudges, then you get those pushes, and then you want to duck because you don't want the 2x4 to hit you. So that's what's happening here. Facebook Live is just a wonderful platform, and it's just not something I still am that excited to be on. And I'm certainly not that excited sometimes to say what it is I hear myself say. And I'm like, oh my God, I just can't say that out loud. So I'm saying it out loud for the next, I think I have two more days. And then next week I'm supposed to do something else. I really believe at this point, for all of us, as the world seems to keep becoming this you better take care of yourself approach, it's imperative that we understand our relationship with money and that we upgrade that relationship with money. No matter what you may or may not have learned growing up, what you have experienced or didn't experience, there's nothing really that stops you from living an abundance life, having prosperity, being at peace with your money, as well as moving toward wealth and creating a wealth legacy, except for probably about 3 or 4 things. And so I've been wanting to get your attention and to disrupt the conversation so you understand it's not always just about you. There's just some things that we may not have known or learned growing up. So that's what I've been doing, particularly this week. There are several videos before, you'll see them. The first conversation, I believe, was around why this should matter to you. And it's the way the world is shaping up, the way bills are passing, the conversations that's happening in the White House. That's why this should matter to you. But more importantly, because that can distract you at this kind of earth level, and you forget that there's a greater level, greater power, greater abundance that you can tap into and access, and that's ultimately where everything is coming from, and it trickles through various paths, be it your job, be it retirement account, be it your savings account, be it your trust fund. It's all still coming from one ultimate source. And that source is abundant. That source is infinite. That source is limitless. But we don't hear about it much, so we forget that it's the source and begin to think jobs are the source and clients are the source and funds are the source and swindling people may be the source or big corporations, when in reality, there's really only one source. So it became important to me to share that there's certain, I'm going to talk about the 3 missing pieces that we may not necessarily have received that will make the road easier if you're willing to really have the financial freedom you say you want, or if you're willing to just snatch back the financial freedom that's yours. Because we already know freedom doesn't just come easy. Someone doesn't say, here's your freedom, here's your freedom. You know if you want it, you've got to take it. It's yours. That's how you let the universe know you want it. Because you say, yes, it's mine, I want it, I'm taking it. Then I began to look at what does it mean not to have access? You can get a car, you get a car loan, which gets you in debt. You can get a mortgage. That'll be great for your legacy. But what about when you want to get a business loan? What about when you want to expand your reach in the community and have a greater impact and influence on the planet? What about that? And how come that becomes such an issue? Because whatever it is that you believe about the world and the economy and money and wealth and abundance is ultimately what you're going to see showing up in your life. And I want to disrupt that conversation. I'm sure there are too many conversations about not enough, needing more. Probably that's it, not enough and needing more, rather than conversations about being in alignment, conversations about knowing what that alignment looks like, and how do you move toward it more as opposed to continuing to worry, to stress, to cry, and to pray about money. So tonight I put on there, let's talk about, the three missing pieces. But I wanted to respond to some of the comments. Someone had written that, and this may come up for you. I remember it used to come up for me too. It seemed like every time I would get money, or every time my income tax check would come, or a large amount of money would come, and I would say, I'm going to put it in the bank, I'm going to save it, I'm going to keep it, I'm going to build from there. Something would always come up. Can anyone relate to that? Someone had put that on one of the Facebook group pages, and they're like, something always seems to come up. And I'm not going to be here on here as long tonight as I have been. And what I found so interesting about that is that's a commonality that many people have. That you have a great intention. You're clear you want something different for yourself and for your family. You're clear you want something different for your life and your experience. And you're moving in that direction. And you're getting your money and you save it in an account, or you put money over here, and then what? There's a flat tire. Oh, there's plumbing. Or somebody borrows it and you say yes. So what you had for yourself, now I see some thumbs up. You don't have anymore. So you go at it again and you put it aside, and maybe it lasts 5 months the first time, and this time it may last 2 months, or maybe it may last 8 months. What I want to say to you about that, and I've experienced that and lived that, it wasn't until I began to look at the second principle I'm going to talk to you about this evening, that I recognized what was happening inside of me that in some regards was really repelling money. And we don't think about that because many people weren't taught about the invisible aspects of life and money and different things like that. So we don't think we can repel money, or you don't think you can attract money or any of that. You figure you go to work, get a paycheck, there's your money. You're an entrepreneur, you have your clients, you're a small business, you have your clients, they pay their bills, there's your money. So that's the level that many people have their money. So that can keep you at and in frustration. But what if there were bigger principles at work? What if there was another way for you to think, for you to believe, and for you to feel that could actually have an impact on your relationship with money? What if that were the case and you didn't know about it? So you just kept going down this particular road, but what you want is on this road, and so you're out of alignment. You're on the wrong road. You're walking parallel. So what I'm going to be talking to you about, and what I want to invite you to with the 3-day event, is to let's get you on the same road, the same page, where your money and wealth is waiting for you. It's just right there waiting for you. So the piece around something always seems to come up. First of all, once we start feeling that, we begin to believe it. Once we believe it, we own it, we live it. And on some unconscious level, we almost anticipate it. You may say, no, Jenenne, and I get it. It's unconscious. Join me for 3 days. I'll explain it to you. It's unconscious. Because what I found is when we have those repetitive patterns of something always coming up all the time, there's something that's happening within us. And we don't know that. We always think, or at least I used to always think, it was outside circumstance. Well, somewhat, because I knew sometimes I could make some better choices with my money. But most important, I was thinking it was outside circumstances. You get a flat tire. You're like, okay, that's not on me. But when you don't know certain things about the power we do have, the power of our words, the power of our thoughts, the power of our actions, the power of our positivity, as well as the power of our negativity, we participate in all these different kind of things and don't recognize that they're impacting us. They're impacting our lives, our children, our family. In the old days, I guess they'd say our pocketbooks, our wallets, our bank accounts. I don't know how long we're going to have bank accounts, our fake money, whatever. It all is connected and all impacts. So that's what I want to tell you. If something always comes up, it's something that's happening within you. And I'm going to be talking about that during the 3-day ManifestMoneyNow.live event. Someone else was talking about being nervous about money and how to handle their money and managing their money. So I'll start with that one because I don't remember being nervous about money. I just remember being what they probably call thirsty now. There was just always a longing for money or more, or this sense of just not enough. And I didn't, again, understand the different principles behind it. So for tonight, I wanted to make sure I give you some action steps to keep you involved. Those places where you find yourself saying there's always something coming up, look to see what you really believe about that. How deep you believe that. I mean, if we were somewhere and I said that to you, well, does something always come up? You said, I could bet my life on it. That means you're living it. It's yours. You own it. Versus, well, it's kind of just something I say. I don't really know, but it just seems because things keep happening. Now that's a different kind of energy that you have on it. So I need for you to begin to look at you and what it is that you really do believe when you see these repetitive patterns. Because repetitive patterns are easy to shift once we can identify them. So it's interesting. You can get on here and go fast, and it's already 17 minutes. So let me just talk to you, though, about these 3 missing pieces. And I found them way, way down the road. So I want you and your family and your children to get them certainly sooner than I did. I believe I said something about this last night, but let me just say it again. There are only a few concepts that matter when it comes to wealth and money. And the biggest thing that's robbing everyone of their wealth, their money, their prosperity, and their peace of mind is something that we should say #distraction. There's so much distraction. There's distraction by the television marketers. Every turn, they're tempting you. And the biggest thing that I'm asking you to do is to ignore them. They don't care if you save money. They don't care if you have money for retirement. They don't care if you have your money for your emergency fund, if you have $300 or $400 under your bed in case you need it. They don't care if you have money if your car needs repairs or you have a flat tire. They don't care if you have money that you want to invest. They don't care about your home, your emergency fund. They don't care. Television marketers on the phone calling us all the time. Every time you walk into to an AT&T or to a Sprint, they don't care. Their job is to market to you to get you to spend your money. To be what is so important in a capitalist world, and that is to be a consumer. You get the money from the company, you spend it with another company, and you sit and wait for some more money. Some more money. You get paid again, money comes, you spend it over here. It's coming. As fast as it comes in, it goes out. Consume. But they don't care. So I need for you to know that. They're not giving you deals on TV because they care about you and that you have a budget and that you're looking to propel yourself and have financial freedom. And so they're giving you this deal of so much off this dress. That's not why they're doing it. They're doing that to entice you to move from the goal that you say that you have and do this mind game if you really pay attention to them. Play into your heart, play into your insecurity, play into your sense of scarcity. To buy, to step out of the goal and the vision that you have so that you move further away from the wealth, the financial freedom that you say that you want, the peace of mind that you say that you want. You move completely away from that. You realize that, right? Every time you buy something that you said you necessarily didn't need, that wasn't in your plan, that wasn't on your budget, you have made a conscious choice to move away from your financial freedom, to move away from your peace of mind. You just said, hey, I'm going to go get stressed. Let me buy a dress, a pair, a car, shoe, whatever, and I'm going to go get stressed. Because that's what's happened. That is what happens. So it doesn't matter. It could be sneakers. It could be video games. It could be dangling credit card offers in front of you. Oh, my gosh. It could be cash for students to go to college. Pay attention and see what's being offered. I used to turn commercials down. I still do, I think. When the show goes off, I mute commercials. I used to look at them because they were quite creative. But some of them now, they have so many animals in them. I'm like, how are animals going to connect to me? So I'm like, no. Hi, Shannon. Oh, yes. When you come on, please let me know who you are, where you are in the world. # disrupt the conversation. That's what we're doing. I'm disrupting the conversation about money. So you don't have to spend the way you do. None of us do. We don't have to spend the way we do. It's become a habit. But what gets in the way is something called instant gratification. So one of the first missing pieces is having had a financial education. How many of you have had a financial education? By the time you were 7 years old, 7 years old. Then by the time you were 15 years old, and then by the time you left high school and went into college. I mean, I have a friend who teaches his daughters how to invest in the stock market. What the principles are, because of course they can't. But what the principles are. Did you know that at Let's see, my son's 12, at maybe 10 and 12 years old. Did you know that? That's what I mean by financial education. We cannot afford another day or minute to go without us getting this. I keep telling, we have enough dresses and enough shoes and pairs of jeans and clothes. We have enough. But how much financial education do you have? How much have you been told and shared with you? Instant gratification. Now that's just the world we grew up in. You see it, you want it, you go buy it. Well, what happened to your plan? What happened to your budget? What happened to your savings, your retirement, your vacation? Investing in your business, investing in yourself, investing in your financial education. You went to a concert instead? Okay, you were pleased and satisfied for what? An hour and a half? And now what? How long will it last? How long will it last? So we're telling you long term, and so much of what you're getting bombarded with is instant gratification. Buy it now. Get it now. You better get it at this price right now because it won't last. That's scarcity. Now they're tapping into the scarcity within you that goes, oh my God, it's not going to be enough. Because so much around us is bombarding us with scarcity. They actually have you to begin to think that to get scared about your freedom on this planet. So that's one of the biggest principles is a financial education. I asked you a couple of days ago, did you know what compound interest was? When you were 6, did you know about a savings account? Did you know about interest rates? By the time you were 14, did you understand about credit cards? Did you understand about real estate? Did you understand where taxes went? Did you understand what it meant to have a bank account? Now that's the preliminary. We're just getting to the basics. Then we move up to real estate and compound interest and what that means and how do you invest in property, how do you buy property, how do you invest, period. Did you get that financial education? So I almost want to say, how dare you walk around acting like you know what you're doing with your money when we don't. And I won't say that to you. I'll say it on my own behalf because I didn't. I didn't. And money ran through my hands. One of the things I do remember growing up is I could stretch $1. Anybody else know about that? Now I could have like $40, $50 to $100 in my wallet. It seems like I could blow through that. Give me $1. It seemed like I could hold on to $1 for a whole doggone week. You're just now learning, Shannon. Yay! I kid you not. I could hold on to $1 for so long. Sidebar. So now here's a piece about financial education. Here's a question for you, based on what I was just talking about, instant gratification. Do you know how to wait? Wait, what do I mean wait? Yeah, do you know how to wait? Because the opposite of instant gratification is waiting. Waiting. Now that's financial education. Because what you're wanting, what I'm wanting you to align with, and I'm going to support you with reaching your goals, is going to require step by step by step. You can't do all steps at the same time, one time. So in between, you will wait. Did they teach you about how to wait when it came to financial education? Nobody taught me about waiting. The very motivation for me to get a credit card when I first got it was that I had one, first of all, and I could buy what I wanted when I wanted. That was the motivation. The motivation was, oh, get the card, set it aside, read all the fine print, be strategic about when I'm going to use it because it's going to be connected to my credit. Let me use it to build credit so that I gradually take my score, because I don't even know what the starting score is when you start. Take my credit up to the highest so that I can plan then for what it is I want to buy. Did you have that financial education at 19, 20, 21, and 22? Because that's when the credit cards started coming. I didn't have that. How to wait. How to wait. I know you thought financial education was going to be a whole lot of other stuff, and it is. But this is a key one. Because where television and marketers get everyone is they buy into the instant gratification. Got to have it right now. Oh my God, and the thing about it is that it doesn't last. We keep spending and spending, and what we're spending on doesn't last. I just threw me in there, so you know we're all in it together. But I kind of spend money on things that kind of last. And yet we keep spending and spending and spending. Okay, so the other thing, financial education, when you were Because see, this stuff people knew before they were 18. That's why I'm staying between the 5 and 17-year-olds. Because there were students, people, families. My son knows more right now at 12 than I knew at 12. I am pouring everything I can into him. So that's why I'm using the years. That's when the decision, that's when you're making, that's when you're thinking, that's when you're experiencing it at home with your family, you're experiencing it with your community, you're experiencing it with your church. It's between 5 and 19. By the time you get to 19, your money is set unless you continue to learn or unless you realize, hey, I don't know diddly squat about financial education. What is a TD Ameritrade? Where is it? How do you do it? What do you invest in? You invest in bonds. Where do I put my money? Your financial education. And I talked about this a little bit last night, the importance of saving. The importance of saving. And there again comes the weight, because something's going to always come up. Just part of life. No, this isn't the mindset piece I was talking about earlier. Something's going to come up. Some things will have to wait. Some things you have to plan for. Some things you have to take care of right to that minute. So one of the rules of thumb that was given was to save 25 cents of each dollar. 25 cents of each dollar. Now, before you say, oh, that's not that much, how much do you have in your savings? And how much do you save of your dollars? I'm just giving you a baseline to get started. To move into that in agreement with the universe and with money that you're going to save some. Financial education. The significance, the value, and the importance. Is money more important than gold? More valuable than gold? Do you know about gold coins, silver coins? What to purchase, when to purchase, the weight? Financial education. Missing piece. Enough said. You got it? Clear? Next. The next piece goes to what I was saying earlier when I was saying the woman on one of the other pages was saying something always comes up. And how I know them when I'm working with my clients is it's a repetitive pattern. And that's a repetitive pattern. Something always comes up. That you will find. The second missing piece is called the principles of the universe. There are principles in this universe that impact money and wealth. Did you get that as part of your financial education? I didn't. And quite a few of them are in the Bible. Quite a few of them in the holy books. But if you don't know the laws of the universe, how do you manipulate them, so to speak? How do you work in partnership with them? How do you leverage the universe to support you, the source of all that there is to support you? See, for many people, you can't bring God into the story because you don't have God and money together. So you're out here on your own trying to do your money thing. But there are principles. And if you join my Money and Wealth Mastery Group, at least in the next couple of days, I think it's up there, there's a statement up there for you to become aware of. And I taught it one Sunday, and it was so profound. All I could do is thank Spirit and Universe for giving it to me. I want you to get to this point, and you'll get it. It's real simple. You go to sleep every night, and you don't worry about floating, right? You walk down the street, you don't have to worry about yourself floating. You get in your car, you drive, and you don't worry about falling off, right? That's not a concern at all. Why? What's the principle in place? Go ahead, type it down there. Let me see if I can see anybody type it in there. What's the principle of the universe that's in place that keeps us from falling off? Why can I never see the comments? And can I get some hugs and some love? Send me some kisses and some thumbs up if this resonates, if this connects, if it makes sense. The principle of the universe is gravity. Gravity. Now you trust gravity. I want to see one person put your hand up and say you don't trust it. You trust gravity. Thank you. Gravity, yay, Shannon said it. Now, this is my command to you. When it comes to your financial freedom, when it comes to monetizing your value, when it comes to building your life and your legacy. I'm going to talk to you about it for 3 days. On May 26th, May 27th, and 28th at the Garland Hotel in North Hollywood. I want you to join me. You cannot not have this information and go forward. And see, you and I get to have this incredible impact, because if any of you listening have children, do you know what it's going to mean for you to start having these conversations with your kids at the dinner table and start turning off that doggone TV and help them get so smart about what they see on that TV, and then they begin to use it and implement it? Do you realize we have impacted the next generation? Do you realize there was a time people of our race couldn't even read? Now we have the power to pass this information down. You gotta come be with me. I'm so excited about this information. Okay, so go to www.manifestmoneynow.live for all the details. So gravity, I ask you to trust. You trust God, right? Trust God like you trust gravity. Trust that there's a source of abundance like you trust gravity. Because the same source of that abundance is the gravity. They're principles, spiritual principles, invisible principles that are manifesting, that are webbed into the realm of this planet that we live in. And most of us don't know anything about them. We just go through life, and you look over there and say, wow, I wonder how they did that. Oh, the rich just keep getting richer. Did you ever think the rich may know the principles? Did you ever think the rich may just know have the financial education? It may not have anything to do with their skills, their parents. It may not have to do with anything except for they took the time to learn. To learn. And I get it because I thought I knew. You know, why does it take 30 or 40 years to realize I don't know? There are principles in the universe that operate to support you. Second missing piece. The final missing piece. Now, I'm guided. I say what I hear, and then I'm done. Right now, I would be willing to say that you may have gotten comfortable at a level of frustration and of being a victim, and maybe potentially waiting for someone to rescue you. And so you may have found yourself spending on you to feel better rather than spending in you to get your financial education. It will take a commitment. That principle is commitment. Commitment. You'll have to want your freedom. You'll have to want your freedom like a person grasps for air that's drowning. You have to be willing to turn off the television and stop being programmed. It tells you who you are. It tries to tell you who to like. It tries to tell you who's good enough, who's not good enough. It tries to tell you what people should be together. If you look at the couples they're putting on TV, it tells you a point of view. But I've always said it tells a vision, and it's not my vision. There's probably 1, 2, maybe shows on TV that tell anywhere near a vision that I have for how this world and universe could be. And I see it unfolding with all the uproar and the protests, and that we're coming together and we're filling out petitions, but it even has to go further than that. It will require commitment. To snatch back your power is going to require commitment. So you're going to snatch it, and it's not, you may have to hold on for a minute and pull your power back to you in here and waken it up inside you. You may just reach for it and it comes easily and effortlessly. You may find that you have to really go inside here and do some things and move some things around. Shift your mindset, shift your beliefs, understand your value, and know what it means to build a legacy step by step. And that will require you to have a commitment to your financial freedom now, today. Not waiting for someone else to say, oh, you can have it. It's okay. We think you've been good enough, so now we're going to tell you the secrets. Secrets are only secrets because nobody asked. I didn't know to ask. Down the road, I began to know to ask. And I remember one of my coaches, Lisa Nichols, used to always say, it's about the question. You have to have and know the right question to ask to get the information. And many times we don't know that. So your 3 missing pieces, said I was going to be on here all night. First thing is a financial education. The next thing is you don't know the principles of the universe that are govern everything. You don't, and some of them right there in the Bible, but you don't know the principles. You're not using. If you just took 1 or 2 principles and worked those babies. And then the third thing is commitment and courage. Are you committed? Are you courageous enough to really stand up and claim what's yours? Because see, the abundance that's been given to each of us, it has nothing to do with Trump. It has nothing to do with jobs, has nothing to do with corporations, has nothing to do with businesses. That wasn't even here when the abundance showed up on this planet. The abundance came with the planet, so to speak, the universe and all that there is. All the numerous stars in the sky and the innumerable grains of sands on each beaches. That's what came. That's how this whole beautiful landscape of a planet was created. It was created in abundance. It stays abundant all the time, no matter what we seem to be doing. But we haven't connected our consciousness to that awareness of that abundance. So our consciousness becomes like, think of it as the soil of the universe. There's soil everywhere. Well, our consciousness is soil. And what's impacting what we see showing up in our lives, our financial freedom, our peace of mind, is what we put in the soil of our consciousness. And I'm inviting you to join me for 3 days so I can help you put some amazing seeds in the soil of your consciousness. Then we're going to fertilize it and do a little dance on it. Then we're going to sprinkle it with some water, maybe say a prayer or something over and set some powerful intentions. And then send you home with a blueprint, or send you home with a coach to support you to make the changes for you, for your family, for your immediate present that will certainly impact your future and your legacy. I got a thumbs up over there. Thank you. So there you have it. So what are you doing this week? No, what are you doing between tonight and tomorrow? Hey, turn your TV off. Can you just turn your TV off tonight? To not look at so many shows and just see, what would you do at that time if you weren't sitting in front of the TV all the time? I did that around cooking one time. I did a fast, a juice fast, so I didn't have to cook. Oh my gosh. I did not know how much time we take around food, those of us who cook and love to cook. But that's the sidebar. Turn your TV off and then see the time that you have. You could be using it differently. There are things that you could be doing. So just become aware. Here's another thing. Take out, how many credit cards do you have? I'll ask you to put it down there, but I know you probably won't. 5, 7, 10. I think at one time I had about 8 or 9. See how many credit cards you have. Now, add up the interest that you have on the credit cards. Then add up the balances. Just look at your numbers. That's all. Don't get scared. Don't get scared. It's okay. You're in it now. Let's talk about getting out of it. Let's talk about what it will take for you to get out of it. And let's see, what else? I think that's probably about it for now. I asked you earlier in the week, notice how you spend your cash when you spend it. Notice when you spend your credit cards, or use your credit cards, and notice when you use your debit card. Okay? So I'm Jenenne Macklin. I am your speaker, your transformational speaker, your wealth guiding catalyst. We are hosting an amazing event. I just say it one more time, an amazing event at the Garland Hotel in North Hollywood. It's going to be fun. It's going to be sunny in California, but more than that, it's going to be powerful, empowering, and will allow you to leave and walk away with tools, tips, techniques, and a greater financial education than you walked in with. We want to shift your beliefs and reframe them. What's the possibilities you're holding, if you're holding any? Are you holding anything? What's possible for you? So I want you to step into possibility on that first day, Friday. And then let's move beyond your beliefs that day. Then on Saturday, I'm looking for entrepreneurs, or all of us, to recognize and understand your value so you can monetize your value in your business. So you can grow your business, you can profit, or monetize your value with your income. And then finally on that last day, we're going to talk about how do you build a life, a quality life, with just what you have. What does that mean? What does that look like? Build a quality life and build your legacy. Because what's been so powerful out of this more than anything else is to recognize the one thing that couldn't be passed down, at least to African Americans, was that education, that we now have the power to be educated. We now have the power to have a financial education. We have the power to have the education, to know the principles, and to take the actions. And more importantly, we have the power to pass that down to our children. When we pass it down to them, they can pass it to their children. You just create a legacy, and nobody can touch it because you can't take that education away. Got it? Make sense? So join me May 26th, 27th, 28th. Yes, it is Memorial Day. We're going to have fun. There's a swimming pool. It'll be nice and warm. You'll enjoy it, but more important, you'll be empowered. You'll leave. This is it. See, I want you to leave not being stressed, not as stressed as you've been, because I lived in stress about money. I want you to leave having some peace of mind. I want it to be like this for you, that if you didn't have any money, you could still feel good. You'd still have peace of mind. Or if you just didn't have the money that you wanted to have and you had money, but you would still feel good. See, money's robbing so many of us. Money has so many people in knots and stressed and crying and worrying and impacting their health. I want you to feel smart enough about your money, decision and choices, to understand your mindset, to understand what you're doing and saying that's getting in the way, and understand how come you may be stuck doing the same things over and over, day after day, week after week, paycheck after paycheck, or if you're an entrepreneur, your money's coming in over and over again. I want you to understand that piece and know your value, know your worth and how it is connected to your money, and then be able to move out and take action in your life. So I'm Jenenne Macklin. You can find me at www.manifestmoneynow.live. And I look forward to seeing you. I'm back on here tomorrow night at 6 o'clock. And take good care and have a great evening. Bye.